Some renovation going on. One for the pipelines, etc. Guy with an electric bicycle. So that was one of the things that surprised me about Ukraine on my first few trips. A lot of electric bicycles. Ukraine was ahead of Western Europe at that point. What I wanted to say further, so I'm going on a walk towards one of the big parks. Just relax a bit. I wanted to think about what to do because a realtor invited me to go visit a house on Monday. It's very close to Kremenchuk, about 8 kilometers. So that's perfect for cycling. Very nice house. I've been there and I've seen the outside. I located it on the Google Maps and the satellite maps. I visited it. Very nice area. You do hear farmers' noise, for example, but yeah, you can't have quiet everywhere all the time. Another house had a disadvantage. It was near Zhytomyr, being near a military practice range, so you hear shooting sounds on, it depends, quite a few days. In summer it's not so cool, I would say, but in summer you also have farmers busy, and it can also be whole days up to the evenings, so many days, I mean. Oh wait, yeah, I can go. The Netherlands farmers can be busy up to 1 at night getting their harvest. So what I wanted to say is something else, which is an addition to my video about antisocial behavior, the last one, where I showed the comments of ruble collectors and some idiots who commented on one of my videos, and I showed also the Wikipedia page on psychological projection, and I showed that what they write is complete nonsense, and I want complete nonsense. To a large part it's nonsense. They know some of it, understand some of it, but a lot they don't understand. For example, so I wanted to, I will give an example about how it should be described and written. So they claim that I mentioned it, that projection, psychological projection, in other words, accusing someone of what you do yourself, is a defense mechanism, but it's not the case. I mentioned that woman in Kiev, that actress, model, wasn't criticized. However, there is something else going on. And what else is going on is that she did not feel happy with the situation. So what happens is not that projection is a defense mechanism. No, it is an expression of discontent. She realized, of course, that I can't be steered as she wants. She stated, by the way, in one of the dates that she wants the man to be the man and determine everything. That's bullshit. She wanted to determine everything. But that is a fantasy. It's like Putin claiming he wants to protect Russians. Yeah, and he's responsible for killing 250,000 of them already. complete nonsense. But these people continue to believe their own fantasies because they do not self-criticize and they do not introspect, which means they also do not change. So projection is not a self-defense mechanism, it is an expression of discontent. Secondly, I said that normally you assume other people think the same as you do. That's because it takes way too much time to think about others. What is his worldview? What is he's thinking? Then you may think, of course. So normally people use their own thinking to analyze situations and their own preferences, their own worldview, political preferences, to analyze what someone says. Then you might counter, yeah, but when does it mean that nobody ever looks at the other people's point of view? Of course they do, but that is only when they're forced to, normally. And when they're forced to, that's, for example, when you go into a discussion and you show them that they're wrong, and you give your reasoning, and then one of two things can happen. One, they ignore it and pretend it's all nonsense. They don't give counter arguments. That's what antisocial people do. And other people will think about it, examine it, compare with their own point of view. But it's of course only for things where it makes sense to put in such effort. I mean, if you walk on the street somewhere, you meet someone or so and he walks in your way and he says something you don't like, you're not going to think, well, maybe he has a bad morning, his wife said something bad to him or something. I don't care. Nobody should care. That's his problem. Or as an acquaintance, family member said, that sounds like a you problem. And it is. And that's what antisocial people do. They make their problems other people's problems, and they don't look at other people's problems. Yeah, I'm close to the park. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.